So a good friend of mine is investing and they want to know how to invest, and they were going to get a financial advisor, and I wanted to explain to them why a financial advisor, how much that 1% fee costs you over time. A 1% fee over 27 years takes away 10% it takes away 25% of your total wealth after about 27 years. So listen to that. So you will have a 27% less income in your retirement if you use a 1% financial advisor. Whereas if you didn't use a 1% financial advisor, you use like a 0.05 index fund or a target date fund that was a little bit higher, it would not take 25% of your income. You'd get to keep 24% of that income to yourself. The other thing is financial managers do not beat the market. So you might as well just buy a target date fund or just buy the S&P 500 index. And then I showed her S&P 500 index versus a target date fund. S&P 500 index over 27 years with 100,000, I think it gave you like 1.5 million, and then the target date fund gave you like 700,000. It gave you 100% more in retirement. So if you're normally going to get 40,000 in retirement, this would give you 80. If you're normally going to get 80, you're going to get 160. If you're going to get 160, this would give you 320. It's a doubling effect over those 27 years. So don't pay high fees to advisors who are not going to be able to beat the market, that charge you 1% of annual. And 1% doesn't sound like a lot, but if you're getting a 10% return, that they're taking 10% of your interest every single year, compounded over 27 years. Do you understand? You are eroding your wealth. Giving away that 1% is so gnarly, but you don't see that probably. So what I did, I just switched I had a target date fund for like 3 months, and then I understood the S&P, the upside versus the downside. I was like, I'll stomach the 10% churn, ups and downs, 25% ups and downs for 3 months, 6 months, a year, or whatever. And I did much better than the target date fund, probably double over that same time frame, 10 years or so. And I think that's the way to go long term. I don't know what the market's going to do, if it's at the top right now and it's going to fall and then it's going to be in a recession for 5 who knows. But over a 30-year period, you're better off doing the S&P 500 index fund, or just buy that VTI, whatever, SPY, whatever it is. Just do an index fund, stay in it long term over 30 years, dollar cost in, contribute every single month, reduce your expenses, increase your income best you can, primarily reduce your expenses, because it doesn't matter what your income is. If your income and expenses are equal, if you make 10 million a month and you spend 10 million a month, you're still broke and you have zero savings. Then when your bills come in and you lose your job, you're still broker than someone who makes 40,000 a year but has an expense of 20,000 a year. They can live off their money way longer than someone who has a high income. So hopefully it helps. If you like help getting set up financially, or need coaching on that, hit the link in the bio. I do mindset macros training, as well as one-on-one coaching for this type of stuff and all other types of things for personal development. Hopefully that helps you understand that you have to get focused. You have to have a clear, simple plan, understand the risk reward. And that you can get 100% more return over 27 years using the S&P versus a target date, and definitely over using a fund manager that charges 1%, who's also going to underperform the market. On top of take 1%, you're really getting in a pickle there. That's not the fastest way. You can just set your S&P index on an auto deposit, and you don't need anyone else to help you out. Now, when you get close to retirement, you can go into more bonds and stuff like that. But if you're 30 years away, that's the last thing you should worry about until you're like 10 years out, probably. So hopefully that helps you. Hopefully it helps you. If you don't know what the hell you're doing, just buy a target date fund, but add some S&P 500 index in there, especially if you're young. Hopefully that helps you. If you need help setting that stuff up, hit me up. Love to help you. Catch you in the next video.